Yo, what's up guys? I'm going to bring a video on prize picks. I've got plays for you guys in the NFL and in the NBA. We've got over 10 plays in this video. So if that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. Go ahead, hit that like button. And now let's talk about the free group. This is where I send out plays every single day to you guys for completely free. Basically, I'm on this YouTube video recording plays in front of a camera and a mic, and I feel like sending you guys an extra couple plays. If I got a good lock on the board that I see and I want to send to you, I'll just go ahead and send it. All you have to do is sign up for the free plan right here. It's the first link in the description, and it's the only link up there at the top of the screen. So lots going on in the winnable, and now let's move in to the recap. So the last few days on the free play locks, we've gone 5-1 in the last few days, last 6 days. Absolutely insane. The only time we missed was that opening night of NBA, and if that game didn't go into double overtime, we would be sitting here talking about a 6-0 run. Anyways, in the VIP, I'm so used to recapping winning days. We actually had a losing day, and I'm the first to admit, we don't always win on this channel. If you guys want to go tail someone who always wins, go ahead and do that because they're probably lying and you're probably going to fall for it. But we don't always win on this channel. What we do is we win over the long term. So in the span of the month, we have profited 49.9 units. So basically 50 units since the beginning of October. But I'll scroll down and show you guys what happened on Saturday. These were the plays that we ended up taking, all 6 of these plays, and we had 3 wins and 3 losses, but one of these losses was actually a 3-unit loss, Alabama minus 9.5. I felt really confident about that. It didn't go our way. They still won the game, but they didn't win by quite as much as I thought they would. Our net profit, I guess, was minus 1.3 units. So we actually had a loss on the day. Not a terrible day. Even when we lose, our losses are not that big. I want to show you guys what happened last Sunday because we're coming up on a Sunday now. We profited 12.2 units after slamming this parlay. Packers money line, Broncos money line, 5 units on that play, and we profited 12 units, guys. This is what we do on the VIP. When it comes to Sundays, we don't mess around, and that's about to be what it is today. If you want to get the VIP for completely free, you're in luck because I'm dropping a free week of VIP to every single person who just texts this number right there. Just text me the word here. I'll just write it up there. Text me the word VIP to this number right here. Text me the word VIP to this number. I will get you on a free week of VIP. This is my personal phone number, guys. I'll just text you back. I got a couple phones. This one I'm on a lot, texting you guys back. And what am I going to do? Help you guys sign up for one of these 3 apps, because once you do, with my code, you'll get the free week of VIP just like that. So text me at that number. Now let's get into the first play of the day. We're going to start off in the NFL, and then we're going to hop over to the NBA for a few plays later. So first up, Rico Dowdle on the over. This man has been greening us out like crazy. 200 yards, 183 yards. Then Chuba Hubbard comes back. Doesn't really matter. He still gets around 80 yards in this game. And in this one, the Bills are playing the Panthers. The big story or the big news that you have to know is that Bryce Young is not going to play in this game. Very unlikely that he will play, right? Andy Dalton is probably going to be starting in this game. And Andy Dalton is not the worst in backup quarterback. I would say he's probably one of the backup quarterbacks who is most similar to the starting quarterback in terms of Bryce Young to Andy Dalton really isn't that big of a drop, right? Andy Dalton's still quite competent, similar to the Mac Jones situation. Brock Purdy is obviously great, but Mac Jones is pretty good, right? I think Andy Dalton's going to do fine in this offense, but I think they're going to be more heavily reliant on the run than they have been in the last few games when Bryce Young was active. They want to obviously develop their young quarterback, but Rico Dowdle right here has still been getting a ridiculous amount of rushing attempts, 23, 30, and then 17. Now his line is at 11.5. I absolutely love taking the over on that one, but I'm just going to go ahead and take him on straight yards. 50 yards is what we need in this game for Rico Dowdle. And I know Chuba Hubbard is back. I know Bryce Young is out. I really don't care. Rico Dowdle has been just a ball player. If you watch his games, you can tell every time he gets the opportunity, he's been busting a play for 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards. And then when he gets into the open field, it could easily be 20 yards because he's got the speed as well, right? So if you watch Panthers games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't watch Panthers games, I guess you just got to trust me. Rico Dowdle on the over, 50 yards. Trust the stats, I guess I should say. But speaking of the stats, this is a very statistics-driven play. CJ Stroud. His line is down at 206 yards. If you told anybody before the season that CJ Stroud's line would be at 206 yards, they would laugh in your face and take the over because that's exactly where you thought this man would be before the season. And honestly, he hasn't been great, but when it comes to getting yards, he's not been terrible, right? When it comes to the eye test and actually how he's looked on the field, he's been pretty bad. But on the stat sheet, His worst game was 188 yards against a tough Rams team, and then he's greened out this play in 4 of the last 5 games. He barely missed against the Jags. Now they play up against an opposing defense in the 49ers, who are really not that good, right? Let me show you guys what's happened to the 49ers. They've obviously played against 7 different quarterbacks, and the last 3 quarterbacks that played the Niners all went over on their lines. They actually all had huge games, 241, 256, 389 for Matt Stafford. The last few quarterbacks before that were Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray didn't go over, Spencer Rattler went over at his line, and Sam Darnold in week 1 did not go over, right? So basically, in the last 3 weeks, the 49ers have allowed the opposing quarterback to hit the over on their line. Now they play CJ Stroud, who's averaging 218 yards on the season. This line has somehow bumped down to 206 yards, right? And you guys can say, well, let's look at who's going to be catching the ball for CJ Stroud. Obviously, it's not going to be who he usually likes to catch the ball, which is Nico Collins, who was out for this game, right? It's going to be players like Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Dalton Schultz. These are all players who he is completely capable at passing the ball to and who are very capable in their own rights. Dalton Schultz had 98 yards against the Seahawks just last game when Nico Collins was obviously not at his health. So I love CJ Stroud on the over right here. 206 passing yards is the line. But let's move into another play. We're fading Tua Tagovailoa. What else do you want me to say? He's been the worst player in the NFL. I can pretty much say that with confidence. He had one good game against the Patriots, and we say that was a good game. It was a good game on the stat sheet. They still ended up losing by 6 points, right? This Dolphins team is absolutely terrible, right? He played up against the Panthers, looked great for a first quarter, second quarter, and then they lost. They lost to the Carolina Panthers. Then he played up against the Chargers, lost again. Then he played up against the Browns, and he looked like what I said before, the worst player in the NFL. And now, you know what? Maybe we'll see if Tua can do a little bit better. How about we put him against the best passing defense in football? That's right. He's playing against the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have a ridiculous passing defense. These number ones mean that they are number 1 out of 32 teams at defending against the slot position, defending against the wide position, defending against the backfield position. Their passing offense, their passing defense, I should say, is locked down, right? Let's look at every quarterback that's gone up against this Atlanta Falcons team. Oh wait, every quarterback that's gone up against the Falcons team has gone under their line. Not a single quarterback has had over 180 yards. This is a ridiculous stat. I don't know why people are not paying attention to this. The Falcons have the best pass defense in the NFL, and nobody's talking about it because everybody wants to talk about Pat Surtain. Everyone wants to talk about, whatever, the Sauce Gardner, the other, flashy corners in the league. People are not talking about how insane this Falcons defense is, right? No quarterback has thrown for over 180 yards on them. Like, what is that stat? And then what was the quarterback to do that? To, peak on the Falcons getting 180 yards? Oh yeah, that was MVP level Josh Allen right there. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Can their next quarterback go over? No, it's the worst player in the NFL. This is probably my favorite play out there. I'm just laughing thinking about it. How easy this is, how great the matchup is, how terrible the player is. And his line is at 193.5. So for Tua to hit the over on this line, he would have had to play better against the Falcons defense than Mac Jones, Josh Allen, Marcus Mariota, Bryce Young, JJ McCarthy, and Baker Mayfield. None of those players have managed to throw for over 200 yards, or what should I say, 180 yards on the Falcons defense. You're telling me Tua's going to do that? Hell no. This one's probably going to be a massive unit play on the VIP too. I'm just smiling thinking about it because it's ridiculously easy, right? What are we doing? Now, let's get into the next play of the day. We're going to Sunday Night Football. We're going to the Packers taking on the Steelers. And we're taking Matthew Golden right here. This is another matchup-based play because Matthew Golden, as we know, is a slot guy and a wideout guy. 50-50, basically. 48-52, basically 50-50, right? And if we look at the opposing defense, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 27th against the wideouts, which means they're bottom 5, and they're 18th against the slot, which means they're pretty middle of the road, right? The rest of their defense is pretty locked down, but that's where they are the weakest, right? This is why you got to use stats, right? Other casual bettors, I should say, don't really use stats. They mainly, this is the stats they use. They look at the green bars and the red bars, and they say, I've got a good idea of what's going to happen in this game. No, you got to look deeper into that. You got to analyze how have defenses been playing, where are they weakest, how other lines been how other players been matching up against their respective lines. This is the kind of thing that you will get on this channel every single day. Now, let's talk about how the Steelers have been doing recently, because they just faced the Bengals. And Iosivas went on the over. T. Higgins went on the over. Before that, they faced the Vikings. Justin Jefferson popped on the over. Jordan Addison popped on the over. Both had over 114 yards. Now they're playing up against Matthew Golden, and the only problem I have with this Packers team is it's difficult to tell where the receiving yard's going to go, right? Is it going to go to Dobbs? Is it going to go to Watson? Is it going to go to Kraft? Is it going to go to Golden? You don't really know, right? It's probably not going to go to Watson, I guess. I shouldn't have said that name. But Matthew Golden is very, very solid, right? He's had 50 yards for three last four games, 37 against the Cardinals, because they weren't really passing all that much, honestly. That was a weird game. But his line is at 40 yards now. It's just a system play. I like this one a lot. And in the offense, right, it's probably not going to go to Tucker Kraft, who operates a lot on this in-line, right? Obviously, tight ends, more the middle of the field. If the Steelers are going to get beat, it's probably going to get beat out wide, right? And this team going to get beat out wide? I think it's going to be Matthew Golden. In addition to that, I've got another lovely play that I want to show you guys that's kind of pairing with the Golden, right? Jordan Love's line is at 240 yards, which feels a little high. But then you scroll down and you see every single quarterback. This is the opposite of the Falcons, by the way. Every single quarterback has hit their respective line when they face Pittsburgh. Whether it's Justin Fields, whose line is at 173, like a little middle school kid, he's hitting his line. Or whether it's Joe Flacco, whose line is set up at 237, he pops for 342 yards. Carson Wentz also popped for 350 yards. This Steelers team is very bad at defending against chunk plays, right? How do quarterbacks get 300 yards? It's because they're getting chunk plays. It's getting plays, 25 plus yard plays, 50 plus yard plays. Plays like that, and that's why you can see that the opposing defense is weak on the wide, because that's usually where the chunk plays come from. So I like Jordan Love here on the over at 240, but I'm using that same information that basically says the Packers are going to have a good game through the air. And instead of taking Love, I'm taking Golden. But you can do what you want with that information. I'm just here to provide you guys the stats and the insight. But I still got 3 more plays in this video. First up, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. I drop videos every single day. And if you haven't liked the video, please, helps me out a lot. These next 3 plays are going to be hopping over to the NBA. So we're taking Giannis. This is another great play. I have no idea why his line is this low. 12.5 for rebounds. And it's even, you're getting it almost at plus money. I'm stuttering it all over the place. If you take it on the right spot, if you take it at Caesars, you're getting it at plus money, right? So plus money for this play. Giannis at 12.5 rebounds is insane. Let's look at what he's done so far this season. 14 against Washington Wizards, 20 against the Toronto Raptors. Now he plays up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yeah, the Cavs play a double big lineup. They're very good at playing double big. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is the biggest player on the court when you're not talking about Victor Wembanyama. He is the most dominant player on the court, full stop. He's going to hit this line. 12.5 is insane. You guys can see the form that he's in. Not only has he been ridiculous when it comes to rebounds, he's been ridiculous when it comes to points. But this line has adjusted accordingly, right? You want to look at, are the lines adjusting accordingly? Giannis, when he started the season, his line was at around 11.5 for rebounds. We know he's going to rebound the ball very well. Giannis, when he started the season for points, his line was at 27.5, right? Now the books have adjusted accordingly. They go, wow, Giannis is on fire. Let's push that 27.5. Let's push it up to 30.5, right? What have they done for rebounds? Basically nothing, right? You can get us at 11.5 at minus money, or you can get it at 12.5 at plus money. I really don't care. I think he's going to hit for 15 plus rebounds in this game. So that's my first play of the day. Let's move into number 2. It's another big on rebounds. Anthony Davis, right? Anthony Davis has been the most consistent player. When he played against Wemby, he still got 13 rebounds, and that's saying something. Then he played up against the Wizards, who allowed 14 rebounds to Giannis. AD picked up another 13 rebounds. And this Toronto Raptors team, let's not forget, Giannis just dropped 20 rebounds on this team in a close game where they won by 6. This Mavericks team has not won a game so far. They did just drop that game by 10 points to the Wizards. Why is that important? Because I think this game is going to be close. And when the game is close, AD is going to play a lot of minutes. Just like how Giannis played a lot of minutes, he had 20 rebounds. I expect AD to have a great game here against the Toronto Raptors. And his line at 10.5, it's just too easy, right? But let's get into play number 3. And this one is probably the one where a lot of people could look at this tomorrow and say, what the heck have you done, right? Because Luka Doncic missed by a big margin. I really don't care. I'm riding the hot hand. I'm taking the player who looks like the best player in the NBA right now. Maybe Victor Wembanyama if you want to play that game, but I think it's Luka. 34.5 is his points line. I'm hitting the over. It feels like prime James Harden when Luka's out there. 43 points in game 1, 49 points in game 2. Give me Luka for 50 points today. That's all I got for the video. I'll see you in the next one. Let's cash.